Kia ora, Bishop Steve here, and just wanting to open up a little bit of the preparatory document that I invited you to read as part of our journeying together in this synodal process. And that's literally what the word synod means, journeying together. And it's always been true of the church right throughout the ages. From the beginning, the church has had to confront various issues as it's moved through time. And so from the earliest days of the church, the leaders of the church would gather in council or in synods. And they would discuss the various issues. And it was in that listening to each other, in that dialogue with each other, that the presence of the Holy Spirit was felt, and so the decisions were made for the direction of the church throughout the ages. In our lifetime, and in the year that I was born, 1962, the church gathered for the Second Vatican Council. But it was largely the bishops who gathered. For the first time when the bishops gathered for a council, there were representatives from all the continents of the world. For the first time there were bishops from countries that had never been even heard of in the time that Jesus walked this earth. But also there were other people there. There were lay people, there were religious, there were priests, and for the first time ever there were non-Christian, and there were representatives from other churches there as well. It was an incredible time in the church as the church was learning to listen to the Spirit and to see where the Spirit was leading the church in the midst of our times in our modern world. One of the fruits of that gathering for the Second Vatican Council was reference in the document on the church of the sensus fidelium, the sense of the faithful. Now that's just not the sense of the lay faithful, it's sense of the lay faithful and the clergy and the bishops and the Pope. It's the whole church. And it's this that Pope Francis is wanting to develop. Pope Paul VI, who brought the Second Vatican Council to its conclusion, established the Synod for Bishops. And they usually meet every 5 years or so. But over the years, again, more and more lay people have been involved, in priests and religious. And again, representatives from the other Christian churches. But as the church has moved on, Pope Francis has wanted more and more to hear the voice of the whole church. And that's what the synodal process is about. In this first 3 paragraphs of the preparatory document, we get a sense of what Pope Francis is wanting for the church. He wants us to journey together, to reflect together on the journey that is made, so that the church will be able to learn through her experience which processes can help her to live communion, to achieve participation, and to open herself to mission. Our journeying together effectively enacts and manifests the nature of the church as the pilgrim and missionary people of God. The pilgrim people of God, one of the key descriptions of the church from the Second Vatican Council. And as the pilgrim people of God, the Holy Spirit is working in our lives as individuals, but in the whole church as well. And as we journey together as the pilgrim people, it's the Holy Spirit that sets our hearts on fire. So we start listening to each other and dialoguing with each other. The Holy Spirit is the one who surprises us and will certainly prepare the way for us along the road, so, Pope Francis reminds us. We have to be a people, first of all, that listen. And that's what we're being reminded of in these sessions where you'll be invited to share your thoughts. But all of us have to listen. It's no use coming to these sessions if you think, I've got all the answers already, and this is what I want. Because somebody else might think something differently. I think more and more in our age, we keep yelling our slogans or stating our position and not listening to anyone else, and we become entrenched in our opinions. And this is not the work of the Spirit, because who among us does not need to be educated by the Spirit? And that's what, again, the Holy Father is asking of us. We're called to be humble and to be docile to the Holy Spirit as Mary was docile to the Holy Spirit, so that we can hear where the Spirit is leading us. When we think of the life of Jesus, there's so much in the Gospels where, he was led by the Spirit. When we think of the Acts of the Apostles, there was so much in those chapters of the Acts where the disciples were being moved by the Spirit and taking them in directions that they wouldn't have expected. And that's true for us as our age. Pope Francis wants us all to gather as the Church of God, to discern together where the Spirit is leading, to listen to each other, to dialogue with each other as we tease out the different ideas that each of us might have, and to discern together where the Spirit is leading us in our time. For your homework for tomorrow, I'd like you to read the next set of paragraphs. Starts with paragraph 4, the section called The Call to Journey Together, and it goes through to paragraph 9. As I mentioned at Mass yesterday, on the diocesan website you will find a place to sign up for small discussion groups in your parish or collegial area. In the meantime, we continue to pray, come Holy Spirit, fill the hearts of your faithful. Be with us in this synodal journey. God bless you all.